Before we get started, I'll introduce Gail Wick as the first Vice President for the Union of Northern Workers. And for those of you that may need confirmation, I'm Todd Parsons, President for the Union of Northern Workers. To my left here is Brother Roy Coutre, who is the Regional Vice President for Hay River, as well as our campaign coordinator for this campaign. As most of you already know, the government of the Northwest Territories has announced its intention to cut the programs, which ultimately will mean job losses for the UNW members. Many of our members have been alerted to the fact that their positions could be affected by these budget cuts. Yet again, the government of the Northwest Territories will attempt to reduce its expenditures by laying off its workforce or by privatizing parts of the public service. In the past, we have seen the GNWT privatize hospital housekeeping services, hospital dietary services, ferry services at Fort Providence and Fort Simpson, forest firefighting services through the Tabacha and Evergreen Forestry. And in all of those cases, the contractors found it very difficult, if not impossible, to attract and keep qualified workers. Now it appears that the GNWT is targeting transportation as an area ripe for privatization. The threatened facilities include Fort Smith Airport, the Fort Simpson Airport, and the Tuktoyaktuk Airport. The union considers the proposed job cuts as unnecessary and devastating to the workers affected, to their families, to their communities, and to the Northwest Territories in general. It is ironic that the new NWT Employment Standards Act comes into force today. The new legislation makes maternity and parental leave, sick leave, compassionate leave, bereavement leave, and court leave mandatory for all workers. That sounds nice, but the leave is all without pay. My point here is that this government wants to save money by taking pay and benefits away from workers. Layoffs and privatization does just that. But this is a short-sighted, ill-conceived, knee-jerk reaction to rising costs. Remember, contractors need to make a profit on top of wages paid to their workers. We have seen this many times in the past, and today, the lower wages and the lack of benefits workers earn working for contracted out services makes most jobs unattractive for all but the least skilled workers. If workers cannot make a living wage in the North, workers leave. At a time when there is a skilled labor shortage in this country that promises to get a lot worse before it gets better, this government's actions will only serve to drive skilled, experienced, and loyal workers out of the territories. All of us will pay the price. We will all lose as many of our programs and services decline or disappear. The Union of Northern Workers thinks that the Northwest Territories deserves better. The union commits itself to fighting any and every effort that the government of the Northwest Territories makes to privatize public services. The Union of Northern Workers has set aside $1 million specifically to fight any and all attempts by the government of the NWT to privatize any part of our territorial public service. We are not just fighting for our members, we are fighting for the programs and services currently provided by our members, the GNWT's skilled public service. This is what all Northerners want, need, and deserve.